but it
On
is
today's
truly how you
episode of
handle
Before
those
the Shift,
situations and the faith and positive thinking that you have towards that outcome that will change that outcome. This is coming from someone who literally had a cyst the size of a tennis ball on her. Take it from me, life is hard, but it could be harder. They actually ended up dating again. If you told 2024 Jalenese that she'd be dating at all this year, I'd probably laugh at you. Two is if any old exes come into your life, ignore them, block them, don't answer. Like, you know what, eat that up. But she got even deeper because she said, girl, if he didn't want a relationship with you then, what makes him think he'll want a relationship with you now? And I said, okay. That was harsh, but it's true. What else can you not do during retrograde? Don't do anything. Honestly, just stay home, go food shopping beforehand. Ooh, put a finger down if retrograde gave you a reoccurring lesson that you definitely knew was a lesson and you still fell for the lesson thinking that you would expect a different outcome. Put a finger down. Hello, guys. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Before the Shift. This is episode 8, and today we will be discussing how to survive Mercury retrograde, as well as how to get out of a slump when you clearly know you're in one. I have taken some much deserved time off, but of course I'm triggered again. So once I'm triggered, I'm back. Y'all already know how this goes. But I think initially, let's start with all of my retrograde problems, shall we? The light in my living room literally blew a fuse. I blew a fuse. I was doing one of my clients' hair, just blow drying it out before some pop smoke braids, and I blew a fuse in my living room. That's my first retrograde moment. Second retrograde moment was not realizing that there's a fuse box behind a painting that I put up months ago in this crib to cover the ugly fuse box that was in the hallway. So I had the answer, or resolution, should we say, to the problem this whole time, yet I was nagging my landlord like, hey, my living room power is off, so that's just one problem. And then, put a finger down if retrograde gave you a lesson or a pre-occurring lesson that you definitely knew was a lesson and you still fell for the lesson thinking that you would expect a different outcome. Put a finger down. That's right. I did it. What can I say? But part of my retrograde lesson was learning that I have to come back to the one thing that I do love truly, and that is my podcast. I even had the same sweatsuit that I had on in my last podcast. Literally had the same gray sweatsuit. So when I came home from work, I changed into my tan sweatsuit because I was like, I gotta give you guys something a little bit different. We're not gonna redo fits during retrograde. That's what we're not gonna do. Oh yeah, let's first get into the slump. Sometimes you just have to fully acknowledge that you are in a slump. I think for about a month, I was just running on E and I was just doing everything mechanically and not with a lot of emotion. And that's definitely part of realizing that you kind of got to move forward out of that unless you want to be stuck in that. So coming to terms with the fact that I was in a slump, the fact that I wasn't feeling my best self, I wasn't doing great emotionally, I think I had to acknowledge that, feel all of my emotions in order to move forward, which I did. I journaled. I went extra hard in the gym. I did my first official 5K run. Everyone clapped for me. So I was super proud of that. But I think self-care and self-love is the forefront of just moving out of any slump that you may be in. I really want to shed light on mental health in this video and refinding your balance because literally, like I said, sometimes if you don't acknowledge it, it's definitely hard for you to pinpoint what is triggering you, what is throwing you off emotionally, what doesn't have you in your best state of mind. For me, it was just feeling like things were never really working out in my favor. This year was the first year, I swear, where nothing is just going my way, especially during this retrograde. This is the second retrograde or the third. I don't even know. I'm not keeping count because I just disassociate at this point. This is the second retrograde this year where I feel like I have overcame so many life obstacles. Like, you would think you have the lesson until there's another underlying lesson within that lesson that you need to learn. And that's definitely where I was at. So getting back into my regimen and getting back into my self-care routine was at the top of my list. And once I got back into that, everything definitely started to fall back into line again. I think once I started prioritizing my health and getting back on schedule with washing my hair and doing my twist outs. And you would think these are things that seem really simple, but when you are in a depressed state, it's honestly not that easy. Getting out of bed is probably one of the hardest things to do if you're depressed. Another thing I would say is to have your friends and family there, but the same way that you have to acknowledge what you're going through for yourself, you definitely have to let your close circle and people that you genuinely care about know what you're going through. I think me doing that, that was the only way I could fully heal within the way that I wanted to, is when I just fully expressed to my friends that I was low on energy. I probably am not my best self right now. I'm emotionally easily triggered right now. Like, I let my friends know, and those that I really cared about know that me breaking away or me not wanting to be a social or being low of energy all the time has nothing to do with them, but solely because of me and what I'm currently going through. And honestly, if they're your real friends and family or people that just love and care about you, they kind of won't overwhelm you. If they know who you are, they definitely have to know who you are. Some people would prefer that, but for me, I get super overwhelmed with a lot of love and a lot of care all at once. So my friends are very respectful and honoring of my space when I need it, but they're also respectful and honoring of my company when I want it, because they know I would be nowhere without them. And then, even trailing into that, you must take time for yourself. I think at the beginning of my depressive stages, I kind of always wanted to be around somebody. I always wanted to distract myself or just take my mind off of what I was going through. So I was always hanging out with a friend, smoking here, going there, spending unnecessary money just so I can be distracted, so I didn't have to deal with my emotions. And sometimes it sounds insane, but you have to put yourself in that dark room and you really have to go through the feelings, go through the emotions, understand exactly what it is, how you were hurt in that situation, where you were wrong, where you may have been right. Really dive in to every aspect of what you went through to move past it. And that's definitely what I did over time. Hence why I haven't been doing my podcast. Even though I felt deeply bad for it, I also knew that I wasn't going to present what you guys needed if I didn't deal with what I had going on first. And then after you've acknowledged those emotions, after you've fully sat in that dark room, quite literally, get back into your regular routine, get back into being social at work, but take baby steps. Take as many baby steps as you need to get back to that. But literally work out, go get your toes done, go get your hair done, go for a walk while it's still light out. Like, the sun is going down so much earlier. So if you can get outside and just do a 30-minute walk or just to get that vitamin D in, do it. Do things for yourself. Always do things for yourself. Put self first. It is never selfish. That is my number one line. So just do something. Find something to do. Make a to-do list. I love to-do lists, and I feel like I would be nothing without them. And as someone who's fake OCD, I couldn't imagine a life where I was a type B person, just kind of thinking of things to do and then going to do them. If it makes your brain less overwhelmed and like less of a task, write out what you have to do for the day, then go do it. It's that simple. And then you also, now this sounds very shallow, but when you are going through something, buy stuff. I am the person that is telling you to buy new things and rebrand yourself in a way that just makes you feel better. For example, my last mental health slump, I literally went out and bought so many cute two-piece sleeping lounge sets. And it changed my life. It changed the way I sleep. It changed like my level of sleep, like how good I sleep. And this may sound surface based, and it's all because I'm wearing these cute little two-piece sets to sleep, or when I do my night routine and then I put on that cute little two-piece set after, I feel so put together. Like, the girls were right about that one. Get you a little Victoria's Secret set this Christmas. Get you a little two-piece set from your local like Ross. Like, they're worth it. They're worth the hype for sure. And then not only do you want to give yourself grace, like I said, you genuinely want to clean your space. I notice that when things around me are just chaotic, or I have everything everywhere, I haven't re-upped on all of my toiletries, like, my brain feels just the same. So that is kind of going along with buying stuff, but literally deep clean your space. Buy your Fabuloso, buy your Pine Sol, and just wipe everything down. Literally, cleanliness is close to godliness, and that is a true thing. Clean and cleanse your space, and you will automatically feel better. And then it'll make that night routine 10 times easier because you're in a cleansed space and everything is just beautiful and pretty and nice. And that, my friends, is where you begin to get out of the slump. Oh, and then something I can genuinely come to terms with, just in regards to retrograde as a whole, is me stepping away from my spirituality and my relationship with God. Now, I will make a separate video just in regards to my relationship to God as a whole, my forms of spirituality, what I believe in, what I don't believe in. But this is me just being full, blunt, and vulnerable. There was a period of time in, like, June or July where I had so many health issues. I had so many things going on within my life that were just literally so dehumanizing. Like I felt so just drenched, and not gonna lie, I hate to say it out loud, but I turned away from God. And when I turned away from God, this sounds so surface based and ordained, but everything in my life just started going to shit. I was like, all right, I'm already in terrible health standing. My mental health is already shit. And now everything's just going worse. I'm not getting paid. Guy is dubbing me. Just things like that. Everything was just really spiraling downward. But I think that's because I turned my face to God and just really having faith and holding on to what could be better for me. So no matter what you believe in or what your faith is, what your religion is, please don't ever turn your face from faith. Don't ever turn your face from hope, because there is always hope. And if you don't see it as such, it will be much harder to get out of that slump if you don't. So I don't care what predicament you're in. I don't care how hard it is right now. Keep that faith and hope, not only within yourself, but within your creator and what the creator can do for you and what the future looks like for you and what you can do for yourself. Keep that hope and keep that faith, because I think that's something that I slacked on in the middle of the year, that I had to come to terms with this time around when I was just going through a hardship. Because let's just say you turn to God, that doesn't mean all of your hardships are done and you'll never face another bad day. That is the opposite of what this whole self-growth journey thing is about. The complete opposite. There will be hardships, there will be hard times, and there will be things you think you can't surpass, but it is truly how you handle those situations and the faith and positive thinking that you have towards that outcome that will change that outcome. And this is coming from someone who literally had a cyst the size of a tennis ball on her cyst back in like March. So take it from me, life is hard, but it could be harder. And then sometimes turning back to God and just what I believed in personally, so many good things started to happen in my life. I ended up going on a date for my birthday. I actually ended up dating again, which is something that I didn't see myself interested in. If you told 2024 Jalenese that she'd be dating at all this year, I'd probably laugh at you. Okay. Like, so I just think that's so insane. And I encourage people to get back out there simply because, like, through dating, I don't think people realize or know how much you can learn about yourself. Even if you don't see a full-fledged future with that person, putting yourself out there and being your authentic self in every space that you step into, whether that be dating, whether that be for networking, you learn so much. Like, I learned even through the guy that took me out for my birthday that maybe I wasn't ready for something romantic as much as I thought I was. It was very overwhelming at the time, and it was something that I wanted so bad until I learned more about myself to know that I have a little bit more to work on, that I know that if I want to be the perfect partner for someone, I'm gonna have to do better within myself. And that was a harsh truth to come to terms with, but that is just an example of why you must move forward and continue to put yourself out there through the hardships, through what feels hard, through the sadness, through the bad days. Just be positive. Like, that is just one of the main things I want to leave you off with in this video, because it could be so much worse. Like, I think my light turning out in my living room only made me that much more grateful of the fact that I even have electricity within my house. Like, it's little things like that that really make you realize within your headspace what you should be doing, why you should be doing it, the purpose behind it, how much you love it. I don't even think I'd be recording today if I didn't take that painting off my wall and realize that the fuse box was right there. But it's just little things like that that really recalibrate your brain and bring you back to your most authentic self. And if there's anything I would like you to take away from any of my podcast videos, it would be that. I think I've learned so much about myself, but the main thing that I learned about myself this year is that my authenticity rubs off on other people, and it makes me feel so good, because I never really saw, I was always so intimidated by myself. I was always so scared to put myself out there. I guess I just never trusted my intuition. I never trusted my person. I never wanted to even share myself with the world, because I just think I had so much fun within myself all the time. That sounds very like loner-esque, but that's just how I grew up. You know, I have siblings, but I feel like a single child at heart. It's so crazy. We are in November of 2025, and I started this podcast, I think, in February. And just the amount of things that I've been through and the lessons that I've learned, I don't think you could have told me or even explained to me what this year would have looked like unless I didn't go through those trials and tribulations. And I think after each and every trial and tribulation, I'm always just like, okay, what was the lesson from this? What can I learn? And how can I move forward? This year, I've been doing that time and time again. And you would think someone that is just so perfect or is perceives in their head to be perfect that they wouldn't have to do that so much. But if anything, we have to do it more. We do. Before I end this podcast, let's get into how to survive retrograde. So 1, don't sign any new contracts. Let's not do that. Don't buy a car. Don't lease a car. Don't settle down. Now, granted, it was retrograde when I signed the lease to this apartment that I'm in, but that would explain the small little problems that I'm having within this apartment. And then 2 is if any old exes come into your life, ignore them, block them, don't answer, please don't answer. And it's so funny because I was talking with my best friend the other day and I was like, I don't know why I felt for it. Like, why did I hit him back? Like, and she really said, she was like, well, if he was the person he was 3 years ago, and that didn't really settle within you the way you wanted it to, what makes you think it'll settle within you now? And I was just like, you know what, eat that up. But she got even deeper because she said, girl, if he didn't want a relationship with you then, what makes him think he'll want a relationship with you now? And I said, okay, that was harsh, but it's true. Like, retrograde will do that to you. Terrible. Try not to blow any fuses. Try not to use more electricity than you need. That is one of them. Try not to do any harsh extracurricular activity. I messed up my knee before retrograde, but I think honestly me just overworking it now is not helping whatsoever. What else can you not do during retrograde? Don't do anything. Honestly, just stay home. Go food shopping beforehand so none of the food goes bad during retrograde. Like, just do as little as you can actually, and try not to revisit any of the past during retrograde. Like, if it's in your present and has been in your present for a duration of the year, then that's no issue. But if they only come back around during retrograde, like you literally haven't heard from them in like 3-4 months and then they pop back up during retrograde, it's literally a test of your faith. And I need you to not answer. That's how you survive retrograde. And that is how you also survive getting out of a slump. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope this wasn't too much of a rambling podcast. I did just want to get back on the couch and talk to my people because I feel like you guys just understand me. Now, from me to you, it's always going to be easier said than done. So I do want to end this video off. If you ever need any help, anyone to call, there are so many websites, there are so many places you can go, there are so many online therapists and organizations that are willing to help you with one phone call. I've been there before. I know how it is, and I'm literally only making this because I know you can get out of it. If I can get out of it, you can get out of it. Whoever you need to turn to, whoever you need to pray to, whoever you need to turn on, whoever you need to cut off. Don't forget that part. Do what you will for your sanity, for yourself, and for your future. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much if you made it this far into my podcast. And I swear I will not, well, let me not swear because let's not do that. But I promise I will not take a long awaited break ever again. I miss this couch with these lights more than you think. So you will see me soon again. Thanks for watching. Bye.